You're listening to Soap Dirt, the latest in television entertainment news.
Hey, Bold fans, it's Belinda from Soap Dirt, and I noticed a few things on recent episodes that has me more convinced than ever that Sheila Carter is getting one of her Y&R family members transplanted to LA. I touched on this briefly before, but I want to tell you about the huge signs that say to me this is really happening on the CBS soap. But first, please click subscribe if you haven't yet. So, we've seen Sheila slipping out of Il Giardino lately, saying she is meeting with someone from her past. Somebody in town from her past. Interesting. Deacon was slightly worried, but she told him not to be, and then he just kind of dropped it. And that came right before something that had me do a double take, a huge waving red flag. So I mentioned in past videos that Sheila has a granddaughter named Lucy Romalotti, who is a teenager and lives in Genoa City over on Y&R. Her mother is Daisy Carter Callahan, one of a set of twins that Sheila had when she was on Young and the Restless. And Lucy's father is Daniel, and his dad is Danny Romalotti. So then out of the blue on Bold and the Beautiful, we meet a chick named Lucy with a son named Danny. And they are in Sheila, Steffy, and Finn and Deacon's orbit. So the first thing, and call me suspicious, is that with an entire world of names to choose from, why would Brad Bell use Sheila's granddaughter's name plus her granddaughter's granddad on the other side? Use his name. The answer is he wouldn't. I mean, the odds of those being random name choices is astronomical. So yeah, I do suspect Sheila's daughter, Daisy, is in town, and that's who Lucy really is. And there's another reason to suspect it. On the recent episode where Steffy and Sheila were brawling, the mother-in-law said something I can't recall her mentioning before on Bold, maybe once several years ago. Sheila said to Steffy, "I have other children." When Steffy was talking about how, she's a loser and has nobody, and Sheila was insisting she does have a life beyond Finn and Steffy and their kids. So if you did not know, Sheila Carter actually has 5 kids. Mary Warwick was her first, born by Dr. James Warwick. That was over on Bold. Finn, it seems, is her second born, even though he was an invented retcon kid, and his dad, of course, is Jack Finnegan. Next is Diana Carter, whom she claims is the child of Massimo Moroni. And this is interesting because if Diana really was Massimo's child, that would make Diana Ridge's sister and would also make her Steffy's aunt, as well as her sister-in-law through Finn. That's the kind of twisted, bold family trees that, never branch like they should. And then Sheila popped out twins, Daisy and Ryder Carter Callahan. Their dad was named Terrible Tom Callahan. That's what he was called over on Y&R. They've never been on Bold and the Beautiful before. I don't think Tom Callahan was ever on Bold. They were strictly Y&R inventions. So it's this daughter, one half of her twins, that I am really starting to think is in LA using the name Lucy. So the third consideration, absolutely, Daisy could be the person from her past that Sheila has been talking about. Last we saw Daisy was back in 2012 over on Young and the Restless. She was last seen slipping out of a mental hospital reportedly because Sheila signed her out and took her away. And that was the end of her on that soap. So the actress that played Daisy over on Y&R was Yvonne Zima. She's 35. And the actress Bold has playing this Lucy chick that I suspect might be the new Daisy is 41. So, I mean, that's a very small age difference. That pretty well aligns to me. And I've been back and forth on this of is she or isn't she? But then another thing happened this week that had me really thinking this new chick Lucy might be Daisy, Sheila's daughter. So, Lucy had Kelly and her son Danny with her. The three of them walked into Il Giardino, and Sheila was all the way over at the bar acting as the bartender, not the hostess, not anything else. And when Lucy walked in, she raised her hand and waved at Sheila in this greeting with a really big smile. And it wasn't like she was waving over the bartender or anybody. It was like, oh, hey, nice to see you, that kind of wave. It was really bizarre. And Sheila smiled in a way that was for more than just some random pizza diner. She was excited to see Lucy. So if Lucy is Daisy, though, she has to keep things low key so nothing gets back to Steffy and Finn that has them tying her to Sheila. That wave, it was bizarre, and I feel like it was literally a waving red flag. So Lucy's son, Danny, is a friend of Kelly's from school, and that means this Lucy woman is adjacent to Steffy and Finn. She's kind of in their lives to some extent. And I wonder if Sheila asked her daughter to get close to them under a fake name so that she can get constant updates on her son and grandson and Kelly. And yeah, Daisy would do that for her mom. They were absolute co-schemers back in the day. Of course, she can't roll up near Steffy and Finn using her real name, Daisy Carter or Daisy Callahan, and she can't even use her real first name, Daisy. It might raise alarms from those who know Sheila's past. So I honestly wouldn't be even thinking about this if not for the names Lucy and Danny that are so blatantly tied to Sheila's past over on Y&R. I know Sheila wasn't supposed to be working when Lucy showed up with the kids, but I suspect if she hadn't been and that was her daughter, she would have just texted her mom and said, come down, but it was just easier from a writing standpoint to have her already there. The other thing I've noticed is that Sheila keeps meeting this person from her past away from Il Giardino, away from her apartment. And Deacon wasn't there when Lucy came in with Danny. That's important because Deacon knows Daisy and Ryder. He knows Sheila's twins. If you don't remember, Deacon was also on Young and the Restless, and he was involved in some schemes with Sheila's twins over in Genoa City. So I'm watching closely to see any signs to confirm this, like Deacon's shock when he sees Lucy, or, maybe Lucy slips up and answers to Daisy or something. The plot promised for Deacon and Sheila is supposed to be jaw-dropping. So far, we've not seen it. And Kimberlin Brown was holding up the script, and it was the script for February 19th or 20th. It was the first day that we saw Lucy. That was the script that Kimberlin was holding when her jaw literally on this little video she did dropped wide open, and she laid the script down and she just looked shocked. There was nothing else that happened on those days shocking except if Kimberlin saw the name Lucy and maybe on her script in parentheses they said, Sheila's daughter Daisy. So that video, also huge red flag once we see who this Lucy person is. So I do think the jaw dropper is Sheila's kid. One of her other kids is in town conspiring. Why even dredge up the names Lucy and Danny if they weren't going there? Why have Sheila suddenly mention her other kids? Why have Sheila talking about someone from her past? And why have Lucy wave and smile at Sheila, who should be a stranger to her, in an overly friendly manner? So this whole situation bears watching because Brad Bell might be treating us to a blast from Sheila's past that he decided to pull over from Young and the Restless. I will say I'm pretty interested. This is the most interested I've been in any of the recent sweeps plots. So we'll just have to wait and see. But the red flags piled up this week that Lucy is Daisy. So now we're in wait and watch mode looking for more signs. Let me know what you think. Please drop your comments. Definitely subscribe if you haven't already and come back soon. We are here talking B&B 7 days a week. And as always, it's Belinda from Soap Dirt.
Thank you for being a loyal listener. Follow us wherever you get your podcast because you don't want to miss the next episode. Soap Dirt is on all the major podcast platforms, including Apple Podcast, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and more.